Let's go!
Everything
Is that the neutron core of an NVIDIA?
It has been an extraordinary journey, extraordinary year. And it started in 1990.
It's just turned into a white dwarf.
With NV1, we wanted to build computers that can do things that normal computers couldn't. And NV1 made it possible to have a game console in your PC. Our programming architecture was called UDA. Missing
He
the
didn't
letter
say
C
it
until a little while later. But UDA, Unified Device Architecture. And the
But they're
first
really showing it.
developer for UDA and the first application that ever worked on UDA was Sega's Virtua Fighter.
God, yeah,
6 years
dude.
later,
Almost
we
realized this was a
invented
sponsor. No wonder they're trying to get me, dude.
Programmable GPU. And it started 20 years, 20 plus years of incredible advance in this incredible processor called the GPU. It made modern computer graphics possible. And now,
wait, what is
30
that?
years later, Sega's Virtua Fighter is completely cinematic.
Shut up, dude! What is happening?
This is the new Virtua
Shut
Fighter
up, they
project that's coming.
do!
I just can't wait.
What the hell
Absolutely
am I?
incredible.
Why is it so smooth?
6 years after that, 6 years after 1999, we
Go
invented
back,
CUDA.
bro! Go
So that we
back!
could
Wait a
express
minute!
the
I'm gonna walk up there,
GPUs
Jensen.
to a
Chill.
rich set of algorithms
Rewind.
that could benefit from it.
What
CUDA
was that
initially
smoothness, dude?
was
Looked
somehow
literally unreal,
6
and I
years
don't mean
later-
that as a gimmick.
6 years later
That
or
looked
so,
unreal.
that
I didn't
could
put that together,
perceive,
dude, okay? I don't put
reason,
two and two
plan,
together.
and act.
Or. Oh, bitch, this is totally having a world tour mode. I don't know what to believe. I don't know what to believe anymore. I don't know what to believe anymore. This is not the game, right? It is not. It says not actual gameplay. I don't know what to believe anymore, though. It's extended now. It is extended. Street Fighter 2 copy, dude. Okay, so here's the thing. There's definitely going to be a world tour mode in this game. Even if this is not, this is almost the same as the leaked image from a few weeks ago. It's almost the exact same shot. Even if this is not one-to-one, because it's clearly not. They're telling you it's not actual gameplay, like straight up. It says not actual gameplay. And I'd imagine a special preview of the concept video. This video is presented at CES. Please note, this is a concept video created before development began. The actual gameplay and characters may differ from what is shown. So, again, this day and age, you would not want to show off a proof of concept video if your final product isn't ridiculously close to it. Straight up. That would be absolute franchise suicide. If they were like, hey, so this was made like early, you know, cool. We've been working for years after we made this shit. So, hey, check this out. This is kind of like the conceptual. The only reason that they would be sharing something like this, even if it's not actual gameplay and in engine footage, which is impressive, is because their current pipeline and what they have designed right now is better. Because nowadays that shit doesn't fly. Right? That shit is not allowed and doesn't fly in the modern age of the internet. The fucking the controversy of like Killzone 2 permanently tainted the ability for you to completely fake shit and be like, hey, this is kind of a game that's real, and it comes out and no. People check that shit now. You can't do that. Some game will come out and get a few people, but not from like a massive game like Sega or some shit. Anthem came out and it looked like the way it had looked. It was just bad. Like, to be completely honest, Anthem looked pretty close to some of the early shit that they put out, like fairly close. It just sucked. It just wasn't fun. That's very different. Like, this is different than creating something visually that has a lot of really, really pristine animations and a lot of in-betweens and a lot of crazy transitions like this does. But to eventually get a game that looks, you know, nothing like it, I don't know, man. I'd like to give them the benefit of the doubt that what they're producing, I'm hoping looks better than this. I'm going to be real. I'm hoping that we get a game that does all the same shit this does. It actually ends up looking better. And I'm going to say it probably will. So here's the thing. Obviously the individual interactions are not going to be the exact same. This is not just like ABK or A forward B. That isn't that shit. But there are straight up things in here that we can take and will 100% be in the final game. Hold up. Just watch. Several things. So number one, from the very get-go, World Tour mode. Absolutely. A character walking around an environment, potentially interacting with other characters and encountering other characters in that environment and fighting. The fight takes place in the environment itself, and there is seemingly interaction there too. I think that will be in the game. Straight up. Even though this is conceptual, I think that will actually be in the game. A lot of the combat is obviously not special moves on special moves, right? These aren't just like, you know, like I said, ABK, A forward B, a grab. No. What I do think that they're promoting by the game looking so ridiculously smooth is the fact that that was a pillar of what made Virtua Fighter 5 special. In fact, that was the thing that made Virtua Fighter 5 special. VF5 had some of the most insane animation tweens, like in-betweens of animations, that you had ever seen in a game. Like, straight up. It's what they spent all their money and time on back in the mid-2000s, where they were like, bro, yeah, we're going to make sure our animation from like one move to the next is insanely polished. And yeah, it is. Even in comparison to games like Tekken and stuff, which really break anim like all the goddamn time, Virtua Fighter looks really smooth. Obviously dated in several ways because it was like early days of mocap and shit. But that game is absolutely exemplary, that it looks like actual martial arts colliding with each other when you see shit go down. What I'm saying, that is presented here in this video tenfold. Like, the first thing we all say is that, dude, this looks way too smooth. It looks so fucking smooth. Like, what are we doing? Like, the in-betweens of transitions from moves to the next, it looks too smooth where I don't believe it. And to be real, I don't believe it. I don't believe that they're going to be able to match this level of combat smoothness when we eventually see the real gameplay. I don't think they're going to get there, but they're showing it for a reason, that it's a goal. It's a goal of theirs that they want to make fights look as smooth as this shit. Is this directly a fight? It's not, but that's going to be an entire priority of theirs, because why am I confident in that? They did it before, dude. That was literally, like I said, the point of Virtua Fighter 5. Let's move on. And we just saw it again. Counter hits. Slow-mo counter hits. Not big and exemplary like the way Tekken does slow mode, but we see like, oh, something just happened. He got kicked in the head because he missed. So it zooms in really quick to show you something important just happened. Counter hit. Interesting camera work there too. All right. And I'm thinking we're seeing something else that was also shown in the early gameplay of the TGS footage. Unique blocking, Game Awards footage. Blocking is not just a guard, where it's just low guard or high guard or mid guard. No. The blocking is like actual parrying. There is movement to blocking. Blocking is as important looking as striking is now, which is a good fucking idea. This is not unique to fighting games. Like, this has been done in Street Fighter all the way back to like Street Fighter 5, where if you block a sweep, there's a different animation for the blocked sweep, like all that kind of shit. The idea that we get unique animation, sort of contextual blocking now, which was in the Game Awards video, is cool. So a block button. Oh no, the block button has been in Virtua Fighter since 1993. Don't get me wrong. All I'm saying is that we're going to get unique animations, like way more than ever before, when you are properly deflecting hits, because it's all over the place. This is likely just the dude blocking. And then again, you see something cool like a high crush. Oh, unique camera, you know, goes in. All I'm saying is that there's a way that you can make Virtua Fighter look super fucking cool just by holding down G. And I think this is it. I think this is an example of that. And like, again, the same thing we saw in the previous footage. I think this is literally this dude right here, just holding down in an example of a final gameplay situation, holding down the block button. And you get cool looking shit. And then this one's neat. Actual direct interaction with environmental hazards that is going to be present in like World Tour in some way. You know, who knows if that is represented in actual final gameplay in matches with people, but like walls and impacts and obviously that stuff is very Virtua Fighter-esque. It's still here. Yeah, clearly, right? Reminds you of DOA? Well, there's a reason. Dead or Alive and the majority of its gameplay was created around Virtua Fighter 2. If you want to be honest, like the hardcore gameplay loop of what makes DOA is very close to Virtua Fighter. Very close. So most of the interactions you get in a game like Dead or Alive 5, for example, can be comparable to a game like VF, but it doesn't have the hold system. It doesn't have that. It has like the triangle system. It's doing something a bit different, but that whole point of like, you know, rapid fire decision making on top of like a lot of RPS stuff happening constantly. Yes. Are you saying DOA is VF plagiarized? No. Itagaki worked with Sega to create a Virtua Fighter like, and Sega gave them the VF2 engine to create Dead or Alive. Virtua Fighter is directly responsible for the existence of Dead or Alive and also Tekken. Literally did it. It created both of them because Virtua Fighter was ridiculously influential. Yeah, no, DOA and VF are actually like in the same blood and worked with the same developers. This is cool. So, dude, your block button makes shit look fucking sick. Like, imagine the guard button being cool. Just imagine that. Does all this crazy, like, parrying shit, and then when there's, like, a moment of a high crush or a low crush, then you move, right? You can choose to, like, press guard and press up and down or interact with the triangle system at that point. What a cool idea that guarding can be sick or should look sick. And then it will depend how they make that even better. How do you counteract, right? What do you do to make that shit look good? It looks like a fucking kung fu movie. But we're seeing a lot of the same stuff that Tekken does with its camera. They're willing to break camera a whole bunch, and that's not exactly unique to Tekken. It's in Virtua Fighter constantly. Anybody that remembers VF remembers when you get a counter hit or like a round winning attack in Virtua Fighter, they break camera constantly, dude. They'll like counter hit lands, boom, you get this wide shot of the guy getting his ass kicked for like a couple of frames and then it jumps back. So they're willing to do that shit all the time. And now they're just showing that, hey, we're going to be doing it even more here. You know what I like about this? Even if this is a conceptual video, of what the gameplay will eventually be sort of like, this doesn't look like any other Virtua Fighter. Even Akira's moves, what he's doing, I don't see Party Crasher. I barely see a Junen Hyendayo, you know, or like a shoulder or some shit. It doesn't look like VF. This looks like something truly unique and different. Like Akira's doing very different shit here. This looks like a fucking fight. Yeah, in the TGA trailer, he's doing like traditional Bajikwan looking shit. He does Tetsuzanko. Again, why this is more of a conceptual thing, and then we get to what is probably more modern, more accurate current gameplay. He's doing Akira shit. Now he's actually doing Akira shit. We'll bring up the other one in a second. And to be honest, this looks much more refined in my opinion. This looks like what the game, you look at this and you're like, oh, we were already shocked by how crazy this looked. This is likely a newer build. Well, 100%. They already said that this thing is from conceptual video before development even began. This is more representative of what a game will actually be. This is like early, this is like the idea of what they're going for. So a lot of things, so why show us this if this is not what the game is? Well, probably because they're confident or what they have produced does all of this shit already and maybe looks even fucking better. And they're not ready to show it entirely, right? Maybe it's not as polished as they want it to be, which is also the reason why they show this clip from a distance. They show two people playing, real life people playing a game off screen because it's not done yet. And they don't want you to do what we're doing and look at his like freaking nipple hair and shit. They don't want us to be doing that. This is designed to be inspected because it looks really good, but is not representative of what the product actually is in its finality. This is, and this looks pretty close, man. Like that shit still looks hella smooth. And this looks like an actual game instead of like an in-engine cutscene. I see interaction here, but what we can pull is that, oh, the sort of contextual blocking, yeah, that's there. I don't think what Sarah is doing, or not Sarah is doing, is a parry. No, I think that's just the guard button now. She's doing the dynamic blocking. You know, again, we're taking things that are in this conceptual video. The only reason they're showing us this conceptual video is because they're confident that, hey, we pulled off a lot of the shit that's in this and it looks even better now, right? We did these things, all these elements, this interactive, the slow-mos, all this shit, that is going to be there. And what you get is an idea for a game that looks like a fucking kung fu flick. Now we get something that, bro, this is a Matrix battle happening in front of us without the guns. This is cool. That shit, dude, I can't wait. This shit I love. Bro, I'm so fuck you, brah. Like, Jesus, dude. I'm super into it. If they're able to hit that kind of shit with like these characters and this appropriate like gameplay, it's gonna be so sick. This game is gonna fuck. Like, oh my, like, we have been legit missing realistic fighting games. Like, they have been gone for a long time. Traditional fighters, like a UFC game or a boxing game, actual games that are trying to emulate realism and try to keep the fight as pure about punching and kicking, because it doesn't sound interesting. Nowadays, it's like, so how do you do that without it being ridiculously fucking hard? How do you do that without not becoming something that is so exhausting and such a ridiculous like effort? And Sega admitted that, yeah, we don't know. That's too much fucking work. They just said it. It's too much work. That's why we're not going to make another Virtua Fighter, because we're not doing that shit. They're doing it, and they're getting billions of dollars to do it. I want to play this shit so bad. I want to play this shit so bad, dude. My God. No meters. Important. That is also another important observation. There is no meter in here. I get it. It's not representative of final gameplay, but in this moment of design, they would know if there was going to need to be meters or bars or shit. Because already, like, so many elements in this conceptual are showing us stuff that is actually in gameplay, you know? It is there. Yeah, he doesn't even look like this. Like, they completely changed his design over time, and his new design is great. The guy literally looks like he's from a fucking kung fu flick, which is awesome.